G'day. Hopefully going to be joined by Tasman in a minute, but at the moment it's just me. I just realized my camera's smeary. It's not good, is it? Running the iMac built-in eyesight for me, and a good quality camera down on the build table, which means you can see how messy my build table is at the moment. There's one of my dogs behind me. So hopefully Taz is going to join us in a minute. See who comes on the stream today. You can see one person's watching. I'm not sure who it is. Hopefully we'll get a few more people. Don't usually stream at this time, but today my good friend Taz needed a smile, so I said, "Do you need to do a live stream?" He said, "That sounds good." So here we are. I'm going to do a quick bit of sorting while I wait, because I've got this huge mess on my desk and a couple of random Unikitty characters. Prince Puppycorn, and I can't remember his name. He's the miserable one from it. Does it look like me? It could be. No, wait. I had to rebuild my Unikitty coaster for the kids the other day because they wanted to play with it, which is fine because I wanted to play with roller coasters. So it was a win-win situation for me. G'day, Joe. How are you, mate? I'm streaming this one onto Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, strangely enough. I was talking with Taz earlier on. It's a shame we can't stream to Instagram as well, because he gets a really good engagement on Instagram. He's got a good audience on Instagram. So, alas, poor Yorick. Instead of what I should do there, I should combine accounts. So I'm going to do a bit of sorting for 5 or 10 minutes, just because I want to get rid of some of these like nice pieces like that back into their boxes. My goal is to actually get on top of my Lego mess. It's not a backlog, it's a mess. Partially due to my laziness. I'm going to leave those out because I am going to be doing some tinkering with some Technic later. What was I doing? I was trying to find. I want to put this away. I need to find my box of tiles. This one is going over. I think this was from one of the space sets, if I remember correctly. I think this was. Oh no, maybe not. I thought that was from the garage for the garage that was from the big city space set. I'll tell you what, those city space sets are on special at the moment. I'm very tempted to stock up on a couple of those because they're on ridiculously good prices. And likewise, some of those Friends adventure ones were as well. I got the one that's got all the elephants and things in it the other day, and it was it was half price. Couldn't believe it. You know? So it's worth it just for the elephants, but they're good sets because they have a ton of sort of brown and slope pieces in it, which is good because I'm going to be doing a load of mountainous work soon. So yeah, should be useful. Oh, someone's given me a thumbs up on YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you, whoever that was. I have invited a couple of other people to come on this stream if they're about, but it is a funny time because it's our Thursday evening here in Australia. Hence why it's dark everywhere. Where have you gone, Taz? I even named the stream after you, buddy. It's funny, sometimes you can do these streams, and I've done a stream midweek before where I've had so many people come on it for I can't really ascertain any particular reason why. Then you can do the same thing the next week and have nobody come on. I've ended streams prematurely because there's no one around. It's very bizarre. The mystery of... Yeah, that's probably true. Time zones are a nemesis, but now the clocks have changed. I found this time of year friendlier for streaming for me because I catch more of the European and American audience than I did when I do during sort of the summer time stream, if that makes sense. Dismantling the last... Oh, I might keep that aside. That could be useful. Dismantling the last of my Sanctum Sanctorum, the original smaller set that had the tentacles in it. I can't remember the set number now, but it was a good little set, and I used it as a foundation for my Sanctum Sanctorum mock. It's funny, I'm just talking randomly. I'm not like trying to do a... It's funny, when I'm just sort of doing a live stream, I'm just rambling on to answer any questions and just speak my mind. But it's funny, when you do an actual video, it's much easier to talk. Just, I don't know, because you've got a topic, I guess. Speaking of which, people may have noticed I am starting to put out videos again. Woo! Greg's come back to life. Yay! I'm sure out there somewhere someone's excited by that. Technique, lovely technique. Oh, dog. Come on. The dog lying behind me. Challenge. Trying not to run her over. That's a useful window. I need to not lose that window. I can go there. Trying to remember what that's from. I have no idea. I feel like that's from one of my kids' friend sets. I'll leave that together for now, just in case it is. Ah, those. I'm just going to do something cool with those. I can wait for another day. I'm still kicking myself because I bought a load of these pieces in black. This one in black. And I had a very specific use for it, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember what that use was. Muppet. Going back to my Cockney, Muppet. So, in the meantime, I am going to just put them all away. Where are you, Tasman? Let's see if he's around. I'm wondering if one of his kids has woken up or something. God, I've got so many of those. I'm going to have to do something with them. There we go. Another bag gone. Oh, excuse me. Oh, useful piece. Let's put that in there too. Oh, now I've got a tray of those somewhere. Find that in a minute. Okay, we're up to 2 people watching. Hello, whoever the other person is. Hey, I'm making some progress here. I might actually find my desk in a minute. I'll tell you what, I watched a movie with my kids the other day, which I wasn't expecting to enjoy, but I did. And that was Inspector Gadget 2. It was a lot of fun. Completely didn't expect it to be any good. But it was. It surprised me, pleasantly surprised me. I think my kids enjoyed it too. That's obviously the Pink Panther music, not Inspector Gadget. Oh no, copyright violation. No. It seems like I've got loads of bricks at the moment, but I know for a fact that as soon as I get further into my roller coaster mark, I'm not going to have lots of bricks. And as soon as I resurrect my city, which I intend to do, I'm not going to have lots of bricks. That is the wrong lid. No, that is the wrong lid for that box. Come on. I've got a bazillion takeaway boxes that I bought from 2 different shops, and inevitably I picked the one up for the other shop, the lid up for the other shop. Brett Builds, hello. Doc Sampson, g'day. Joseph27, hello. Look, suddenly everybody's coming on. Hi. Tasman's meant to, and the Lego Room as well. G'day. Tasman is meant to be joining me, but I don't know where he is. He said 10 o'clock was good for him, and I haven't heard from him. So, anyway, got to put up with me for a bit till I hear from him. Sorry, everybody. Where's that cup? Really need to get this room sorted. Spot the colour they had loads of on the pick-a-brick wall one day. Some beautiful tan masonry bricks. Oh yeah. Always useful. Brown. In theory, I have a ton of brown bricks somewhere. Emphasis on the word somewhere. So, did anybody get the space probe yesterday? Anybody? Did anyone manage to get it? Because I sure as hell didn't. I was refreshing, and there was about a 50-minute window where I couldn't because I was away from technology, and boom, it sold out in that window. It's quite impressive, really. What a cock up. I'm going to say it. Take the hit on the demonetization for that one, but my God, what a boo-boo. What a boo-boo. I feel like Lego went all in. You're thinking of taking back the shuttle? What? What's wrong with the shuttle? I'm worried now. Why don't you like the shuttle? Someone has already released the instructions and the part list for how to build that set. So pretty easy to do it. The only thing is you don't have the plaque, but again, I've already seen someone on Facebook. My God, my dog is lying across my table under here, so I can't put my feet out. You're gonna end up with numb feet. Someone's already working on reproducing the plaque from it, so you can buy it as an aftermarket part. Obviously marked up accordingly, but does mean you could potentially get that set for a fraction of the market price. Yeah, that's fair, Doc. I agree with that one. I'm going to build mine because I'm so excited to have it. I've just been busy doing other things, but I'm coming to an end on those, so I should be able to build it very soon. I will confess, I bought the Batmobile the other day. It's a set I've held out on for so long, but then it was 20-something% off, plus extra shopping points as well. I'm like, oh. So I finally succumbed. I don't know when I'm going to build it or where I'm going to put it, but it's now mine. Yeah. Until I decide to sell it. Brick Alan, g'day. G'day. I'm just having a little tidy up here because my room is an absolute bomb site, for want of a better word. Bricks everywhere. Oh, look, more of those bricks. Awesome. So I'm going to try and get this under control, and then I am going to be tinkering with some Technic tonight. I've decided to have a little play with some Technic. $120 UK. What's that? That's about 200. That's about 200. It's about 210 Aussie dollars, I think, at the current exchange rate. That's pretty good. I've seen it brand new for 250 here. So 250 Aussie dollars, which is about 140 pounds, I think, if my maths is correct, which is pretty damn good. There's been some absolutely cracking sales on. I have no idea why, but there has been. So unfortunately, my wallet suffered as a result, and probably shouldn't have, but anyway. I'm looking for that one. That's what Where is Tasman? What was the other one I saw? I picked up I picked up one of the Friends sets the other day. What was it? I can't remember what the name of the set is. The big jungle one that has the elephant, the big elephant and the baby elephant in it. because it's got tons of good parts in it, and it was half price. Couldn't believe it. So, not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that set. If I'm going to just hide it from my kids, or maybe let them have the elephants. I should let them have the elephants. Yeah, I've bought from Bricklink sellers in America quite a few times because it ends up being, or I have to order a bit more to make it worthwhile, but they just have a bigger selection for a better value. And over here in Australia, we don't get the point at which you have to pay import duty is really high still. So although they are talking about lowering it, boo. I think it's like $1,000. It's like really, really high. Blue transparent tiles. A whole cup of blue transparent tiles, and I'm sure that's not enough. I had them in the Lego shop one day, and I just went in there with a vacuum and put them all in, and I'm 99% certain I will not have as many as I need. Okay, getting a bit bored of sorting now. This is why I never get my bricks sorted. I get bored easily. Ah. All right, Taz is coming on in a minute. His dinosaur PC has, for want of a better word, crapped itself again. I feel like these are really useful. What am I going to use them for? I need to put them somewhere because I've got quite a few of those. Oh, those are useful. I'm starting to get organized. I've got to figure out where to put my I've got these for my minifigures. So I've got like 4 more collections of minifigures to put out. I just can't find a space on my walls that's actually easily accessible that I can put them on, which is a bit annoying. Oh, lost the uni kitty. I also need to get the second lot of Mario minifigures. Oh, that's a nice idea.
Hello.
Taz!
G'day.
G'day.
Sorry, mate. I'm working on. I was going to say Windows 3.11 technology, but you know, I could have went back to DOS technology, I guess. Sorry, my PC decided that the graphics card had to be reseated because, well, apparently it had nothing better to do. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, it couldn't have done this yesterday when I wasn't trying to get on the stream. I'm like, oh, I should have just used my phone. Technology. But anyway, I'm here, mate. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's fine.
Chatting away about nothing in particular.
Well, speaking about nothing in particular, I guess there's a particular show that's well, I think you and I have some sort of vague, feigned interest in it. It's about to start for us soon, apparently. I haven't read much of the hype about it. Can't say I'm really interested in it, to be honest.
Really?
Of course I am. Are you kidding?
Is this on terrestrial TV?
No, Lego Masters. The new season.
No, no, terrestrial TV.
Terrestrial TV, yeah.
I don't watch terrestrial TV.
Hey, I watch it
Lego
through the.
Masters.
No, I watch it through the through the 9Now, like through the website, because the normal reception that I would be getting is poor at the best of times. So rather than sitting there watching it pixelate and then freeze, and then I just get frustrated and want to start throwing projectiles at the TV, even though it's not the TV's fault. I choose to go through the website and not have to worry about getting cranky at it. I just think, oh, I'll just watch it. The only downside to that, watching it through the 9Now app, is that for a while there, and I think they've gotten a little bit better with it now, but for a while the ads that they were putting on were very repetitive.
Yeah.
Really repetitive. But anyway, my son had a very nice little father-son moment, I suppose you could say. Yesterday we were in one of the, I can't remember if it was Big W or Target. It was one of them. Anyway, was in with the wife and kidlets, and my son ran up to, there was a little Lego display near the checkouts, and he bolted up there and he ran back with this particular set. And I said, "Oh, do you want that set, mate?" And he's like, "No." He said, "I thought you might like it." I said, "Why is that, mate?" And he said, "Well," he said, "you know how you're working on your car park at the moment for your layout?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I thought you might need some construction workers and some construction site." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a bloody good idea, mate." I said, "Thank you. I'll do that."
Sounds like a good taste.
He does, and well, there you go. Yeah. Oh, my heart sort of, I was like, oh, bless him. It's like, oh. So that was really cool.
I've realised I've accidentally managed to buy 2 of this set. I don't know how I bought 2 of them.
Was one for parts for something else, maybe, or to do some sort of a mock? Could you do a mock out of it?
It still gives me hope that we'll see like a post set in the City line this year.
Yeah. Exactly, I see that.
Given that they won't give us one in the creator lineup.
Yeah, true. True. What do you think of the new Looney Tunes figures?
I love them. I went to Kmart tonight to see if they had them on the shelves yet.
They haven't got them?
No.
You haven't seen them yet? No, same. I did a bit of hunting today, actually. I was out going for a nice ride, and decided to call into a few of my local haunts, and yeah, was a bit disappointed. I did pick up some of the Series 20, what are they now? What are they up to? Series 21 CMFs. I put it up. I put it on my Instagram yesterday, but my faith and packet feeling has kind of been restored, because I wanted the one that's like the little doggy costume outfit one that I'm showing on the screen at the moment, and I got that one. That was purely through. Now, how I got that one, if you're curious, is that I saw the picture on the box and it showed one of the little bones in that sort of blue, or don't know what color that one is, but it showed one of the little dog bones. And when I was feeling the packet, I went, "Oh, that feels like a dog bone." Sure enough, got home, I opened the packet, and there it was. I was like, yes.
Win.
And the other one that I got today was, what did I get today? It was the, what do they call it, like the Cyclops sort of thing. Then my son and daughter got 2 of the same. They got the my wife and I call him the Tom Hanks one, because he, like from Castaway, the guy with the beard and looks like the Castaway, almost looks like a Lego Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, well, my son and daughter got that, and so she wanted the Cyclops one, so whatever it was, and so I swapped her. So now I've got the other one. I've got the Tom Hanks minifig that I'll have running around in the layout somewhere.
I've got to say, I have that entire series because I bought them off someone on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Which is my usual way of buying them because I can't be bothered to go and stand there feeling all the packets.
Yeah, it's that's good. That's good. Well, now the cantina, Greg. I need to give you a bit of a. But I feel I've sort of been a little bit unfaithful to you as a mate. So, if you'll allow, and I will humbly apologise, but the cantina, while I have it in my possession technically, the rule for me getting the set was I was going to pay half, and the other half was going to come to me as a birthday present. So that's happened. But my wife's put a caveat on this particular deliveries. Now, she turned around and said, if I go snooping for the set, because she's hidden it, even though half of it's actually mine, she's gone ahead and hidden the set, and she's turned around and said, right, well, if you go hunting for this set, I'll know that you've gone snooping for it. I'm going to sell the set, and I'm keeping your half of the profits. And I was like, I think I'll just wait. So fun, I really want it. Oh, so there you go. The cantina. It's not too far away. It's within the next couple of weeks, so that's okay. It's getting there. It's getting closer, so it's all right. I've lasted this long without it. A couple of more weeks won't hurt. But you know, I'm looking forward to having the box and staring at the box for a while because I don't have any room to actually display it. I don't have anywhere to display it just at the moment. So even if
very familiar problem.
Yeah, so it's probably going to sit in the box for a while, like my other sets that I really want to open. I've got Joker Manor, which I want to build. I've got the Corner Garage, which I want to build. I've got the Quickie Mart, which is still sitting in the box. So it's like, oh. The Quickie Mart I could easily place in my layout, but, you know, that there's a lot of interior on that set. That set's very interior heavy. It's a good set, though. I like that one. I suppose you've seen the new Harry Potter sets that they've got the images for now.
Oh, I haven't actually.
I haven't either, but I thought you might have, so I was like, I'll see what Greg thinks about them.
The new Harry Potter sets, didn't realise there were.
Wasn't there's some new sets or something are supposed to be released or whatever it was, or another wave of sets or something? I've heard, like, and I've seen there were some other Lego YouTubers have done something about some Harry Potter sets, and I'm like, oh, okay, but I hadn't really heard anything more about it.
Yeah, let me Google it.
I'll tell you what, though, the promo, while you're searching, the promo for Lego Masters Season 3 looks pretty good. I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
Oh, there we go. Amazon reveals. Oh, I did see that. I thought that was someone's mock.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So it'd be good.
So apparently the Harry Potter 2021 sets won't be compatible with the previous Harry Potter sets.
Okay.
Because they had that quite a good thing where you could put them all together and...
yeah, true. They did too.
So apparently these new ones don't do that.
Ah.
Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets is quite a cool set.
Yeah, I've got to take some time and have a look at some of the images. I've only heard it. I haven't actually had a chance to go and start searching myself yet. So, whatever you're seeing, if they're good, let's start to check a few of them out.
They're not exciting me that much. I've got to say.
How's your layout coming along? Have you had much time to work on the layout?
No, I'm actually in the process of redesigning it in my head at the moment, which is why I've not touched it. I think I'm going to kind of gut it back to nothing and start again.
Well, I remember, so last Sunday, I was I just didn't feel myself last Sunday. I wasn't a part of the show. I was away doing the family thing, and I caught just before I was calling it a night. I thought, no, I'll jump in and say g'day. And my timing couldn't have been, I want to say better or worse, because I think it was at the time that your dog decided to crop dust you in the room. And your reaction, your instant reaction was gold. Like, I'm near wetting myself. My wife's like, what are you laughing at? And I said, Greg's dog farted on a YouTube stream, and she's like, cracked it. She's like, what? I said, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I entertained you.
And then I remember, I think I even typed in the chat something like, geez, you better go and get some Glen 20 or something. And I think you were then explaining to Kaz what Glen 20 was all about. So
he did it to me earlier on. I almost blamed him. It was terrible. I'm concerned because he's right under my desk at the moment. Like,
you keep letting him in the room, Greg. I think that's the problem.
Foot in the wrong place. I'm worried he might explode.
Well, it's a distinct possibility. I couldn't. I just my timing, and it's like, oh, I'll just sort of join in the chat and just say g'day to you and Kaz, and next minute.
I think I made a comment as well about making up for Taz not being here with the toilet humor.
Oh no, that was funny. But just your reaction, like that instant reaction, was gold. I'm just like, I'm laying in bed here wetting myself, and I'm just like, I burst out laughing. And I was like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, yeah, Greg's dog just farted on a YouTube stream. I'm thinking, what are you feeding that dog?
Well, I'm actually feeding him old age food at the moment.
I wonder if that's doing it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's meant to help his digestion, not make it like more efficient.
So what I'm looking at doing at the moment, for those playing along at home, is I'm parting out, because I'm desperate for parts, the big 1,500 piece set that includes the 4 base plates. That's what I'm working on at the moment, because I'm that desperate for parts. Like, I am scraping the bottom of any barrel I can find that has Lego in it, trying to find parts for this layout.
What set's that?
Well, again, for those keeping score, it is set number 11717. It is one of the classic sets, the classic boxes. It's those ones that it gives you the little instruction book for different little builds, like some of them are micro scale mini builds. And
is that one of the new ones?
I want to say this came out last year, or possibly late 2019, but I'm pretty sure it's 2020. Yeah. So yeah, it's 1,500 pieces plus 1,500 pieces and the 4 base plates. It's it's not one I can afford to buy every week, but I wish I could, because it would help with my parts. So at the moment, I'm
Goodbye, Mark. Sorry, Mark from the Lego room is heading off.
Oh, g'day, mate. Or see ya. Thanks for good to see you.
G'day, goodbye.
Late in. My good old faithful PC is not as faithful and reliable as what it used to be. Nearly going to have to be an Android phone session, that one. I'm like, oh well. But I thought, I'll give it one more kick in the guts. And she was like, oh, I'll spring to life. Here, install a graphics card again. I'm like, oh, really?
I mean, the good thing is if you're streaming from your Android phone, you'll have a bigger audience because of all the people that'll be intercepting it.
That's true. That is true, so. Oh, that is true.
Spot the Apple fanboy bashing Android.
Yeah. Go the Apple fanboys. So how's your week been so far? I know it's not quite over just yet, but how's it been so far?
How's my what been so?
How's your week been so far?
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. No, anything amazing's happened this week. other than, I took my kids to the beach today by accident, and that went well.
That's good. That's good though. Today was supposed to be pretty good weather too. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
today.
we're going to have another cold spell, aren't we?
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
Bad news. It's going to get cold in Australia, guys. They're going to get down to like 12 degrees.
Yeah, that's like, that's the fireplace and heaters and heavy blankets and jackets and hoodies. That's what we go through.
In northern England, they put some shorts on at that point.
They'd be celebrating. It'd be like summer.
There's a joke that's like, I've got to find it. It's hysterical. It's like someone going through all the phases of cold down to absolute zero, and it's like, everyone else is like life on Earth has stopped. People in northern England put on a coat.
I see we have.
Yeah, he'd agree with that.
Yeah. I see we've got Brett's builds in the chat. G'day, Brett. The Lego room. We've got, was it Ben's Brick Designs? G'day. Oh, Brett builds. I'm familiar with Brett. G'day, mate. Hope you're well, buddy. He's yeah. So what are you working on right now, mate? I can sort of see there on the other camera.
I'm working on building a green base plate.
What size? What dimensions are you working
32 by 32 green base plate.
Nice.
Yeah, see.
Nice. Yes, right.
It's beautiful. I consider just adding that on the side there just for a bit of spot the non-official Lego board there.
Ah.
Oh, God, and it's bloody zooming thing again. Doesn't like Lego base plates.
No.
Tech.
No, Logitech. I'm sporting a Logitech as well, and it sometimes has a bit of trouble with its focus, but
it's usually 10 times better than anything else I've got. But I've got or tried. Yeah,
I've got an older Microsoft one, and I sort of use it as a secondary camera every now and then. It kind of works, but it'll get really grainy, and I'll just end up turning it off, and But the Logitech hasn't been too bad. They're pretty rock solid little cameras.
Funnily enough, I got a little cheapy one from Kogan. Good old Kogan.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well, whatever. It's like only a 720 camera. I'm like, well, we'll give it a try. And it worked really well the first couple of times I used it. And then it doesn't work at all.
Well, that's no good.
I'm like, I don't understand this. What have I done? No, I am planning to. I was just going to start playing with roller coaster mechanisms.
Yeah, I saw what you put on your socials about that. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
done well.
There's a whole video up on YouTube about it now. Right?
Yes, and I also.
Everyone who's here needs to go on my YouTube and smash the like button on that video. Share it everywhere.
Yes, I
Get
did.
It on the Reddit Lego user group because I can't because they always ban me when I do it.
Oh. I had the I felt a bit down, Greg. You sent me a link, and it's like, hey man, you better lift your game on your lighthouse. And I looked at that lighthouse link, and I'm like, oh, look how cool that looks.
Sorry.
No, well, see that one by the looks of it. Like I tried zooming in, and from what I can tell, it's not minifig scale, which is what I've done mine to, but mine needs a lot more attention. It's just I'm using the parts that I have at the moment because I'm kind of, singing for my supper mainly at the moment because of finances and stuff like that and other bills, those pesky bills that just don't go away, and the adulting that I have to do sometimes I don't like doing. I guess it's what we all have to do, but
I've got to calm down on the Lego buying. It sucks.
Well, I'm using the parts that I've got on hand at the moment until I can put in this good size order. I do want to change up the lighthouse. So it is something that's been on my mind, but where I sort of get myself as a mock builder, I think, you know what, I'll just build something with what I've got for now. That way, then I've made something. At least I've got something to show.
Yeah.
Then instead of like say, oh, well, I wanted to do it, but I haven't got the parts. It's like, well, I do have parts. They're just not exactly the parts that I really want, but they're still parts.
This bag here is part of my backlog issue.
Wow.
This was what I picked up from somewhere for a very good price. It had a board, one of the base boards from one of the Egyptian explorers. Cool. Right, that's coming out.
No.
Had one of the Egyptian like baseboards that had like different levels on it, which I haven't seen before. It's quite a valuable board, and I'm like, what can I do with that? Might be flogging it because I don't know what to do with it. But this is a good bag, though. Apart from the fact it's got bloody bionicle.
Oh, now, be careful. You said the B word.
Sorry. I'll put my $2 in the jar. But look at it. Like, why?
Yeah, I know. I share your pain. I have gotten, some bulk sort of bulk lots, and has got bionicle, or mainly for me, I seem to strike my, pot of mega blocks, or whatever it's called now, mega constructs, whatever it is.
I've just realised there's a Hobbit set in here.
Oh, isn't that almost like a unicorn set now? You know what I mean? Like
it's got like all of these tile pieces in it that are from one of the sets.
Cool.
I thought for a moment that one was Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but it's not. It's one of the Hobbits.
Oh, there you go.
It probably isn't, because they said that there weren't many complete sets in here anymore. They've been selling it all off separately.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This box here looks concerning, but it's actually not. Oh, let's turn around the other way so you can actually read it. See that? What it says?
What does it say? I've got to put this on full screen. On my, I'm going to expand my screen. Mega blocks.
But it's not.
It's not. Phew. Sigh of relief.
Got mini figures in it.
Well, that's all right.
And bionicle.
Now, with your planning in your head for your city, can I ask a few questions, and we'll see if you've got that far in your planning just yet? Are you doing a subway at all?
I'd love to, but I haven't got space because under my tables is so full.
Storage. Okay. What about like a seaport or like a harbour or something like that?
I've technically got a harbour in the current one, but it's taking up too much space. So I'm reviewing how that's being done.
Now,
it might be reduced, or it might be.
What about a beach?
Not really a beach person.
Okay. All right, so there's a few things there. Okay, what about with your buildings and such? So is there going to be an even sort of Stevens balance in between sets and mocks, like actual modulars and mock builds, or are you aiming primarily for just sets, or what's your thought?
Hopefully even. Well, no, probably more sets, but a lot of my sets are now modified, so
yeah,
all the creator sets, the expert sets as they are, but everything else will be new.
Are you going to have a pub or a nightclub, or an establishment along those lines?
Well, yes, I'm going to have the melted brick arms.
Yes, of course. So that is going to make an appearance.
But anyone that doesn't know what that is, my youngest child who has the nickname of Daffinator because she destroys things. Oh, the other day, she fired the hose pipe into my living room.
Okay.
Hence why she's
Sure.
called the Daffinator. Yeah, she hid. Oh, she decided to store this Lego brick in the oven.
Awesome.
So yeah, luckily I found it sort of before I put any food in there. But yeah, so it actually held up. Duplow's pretty resilient.
Yeah.
I didn't be building anything with that, but I figured it made a good centerpiece for the melted brick in.
Oh, absolutely. That is, yeah. Like you can't really replicate. Well, you could if you go and shove some Duplo in an oven, but if you weren't going to do that, it's kind of hard to replicate that piece. So, you know, that's silver linings, mate. Silver linings.
100% unique.
Exactly. Were you a fan of the TV show Scrubs at all?
No.
Okay. I was going to tell you about something, but if you're not a Scrubs fan, then well, okay, this is what I'll do instead. For those that are in the chat, and you probably already know, so I'm probably very late to the party, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll forgive myself for that. There is a podcast, if you go searching for it, it's called Fake Doctors and Real Friends. It's Donald Faison and Zach Braff. They basically do a rewatch of all the episodes from start to finish, from season 1 through to season 9. And they have a swagger guests on in between, like Cast and Bill Lawrence, who created the show. He was also the creator of Spin City. I have been listening to that mainly at night just to help me not to say help me go to sleep, but it helps me wind down from the day. And it's if for those that love Scrubs, the podcast is brilliant. You'll love it. For those that don't, well, don't download it. But yeah, it was really cool. But anyway, yeah. Have you seen a few people? I've seen there's been a couple of YouTubers, like Lego YouTubers, that are getting into the whole the Lego Ambassador Network, or the LAN or LAN. Have you ever thought of doing the Ambassador Network, Greg, or having a go?
I've been rejected.
Now, sorry, sorry, you may have mentioned that before. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay. But see, it's funny, like, because they don't seem to. In some cases, they'll say that, it all comes down to subs and like, all that other stuff to do with social media stuff. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have a go at it.
GJBricks suggested is it a new trend, melted brick art?
Oh, okay, could be.
Well, let's not start that one. God, can you imagine how much that would annoy the purists?
Then too much Lego.
Responsible for civil war in the Lego community.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, damn you.
That's cool, though.
Come on, you can do it. There we go.
It's thinking about it.
That looks better, doesn't it?
Well, on mine, it's yeah. There you go.
I'm not really sure what the autofocus does, to be honest, because that's like on the minimum focus and it's in focus. So
see, I've got my Logitech set to auto, so if I hold up a minifig like I did before, I think it focused okay. I know sometimes my phone, if I'm doing Instagram streaming, the phone will just fixate on like an object and just blurs everything else out, and it will stay that way. And I'm like, oh, and the only way to fix it is to like restart the phone, and it's just like, oh, really? And which would end the stream. It's like, frustrating.
You wouldn't have that problem with an iPhone.
No, but I don't know how StreamYard works through Safari. Like, how well does it work okay in Safari?
I need to revisit this. I built this little mock a while ago, which was a. It's meant to be like one of those towers where it goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up, like the drop tower, the haunted house.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to make it as like slim as possible. I haven't seen many do it. I've seen people make slim ones by like pushing it up from the back like that, but this actually is all completely enclosed.
Okay.
And then just got some shock absorbers on the bottom just to make sure it doesn't bounce.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like that'll take me a while to try and replicate that.
Took a bit of tinkering, but the main
thing
is
what did you use? What did you use?
It's all built within this Technic piece here. So that's just a Technic piece.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I is going to add to my theme park when I start building it properly. If I ever get
see, that's cool. That's cool though. I like that. It's clever.
Simple mechanism. Tried to make it compact. I don't like how high it is here, but that can't really be helped because of the springs. Like unless I use a different spring system.
Yeah.
But then it has to be a certain height up for the for it to hit. And then I put 3 of the larger. You see, I've got 3 of the larger track pieces there. See them?
Oh yeah.
There you go. So that it stays up a bit longer rather than just getting up there and then like instantly dropping.
That's cool.
What I really wanted to do was try and make it latch up there somehow, and then as this came down and hit a certain point, it released the latch. But
yeah,
getting into realms of GJBricks level of Lego, not mine.
See, that's clever though. I like that build. That's that's where I've got to start sort of branching into, is doing that sort of more, stuff with Technic elements and things like that. The most that I use Technic elements in my mocks at the moment is if I'm doing, some structural stuff and I want a bit more structural support, I'll throw some Technic in there and just sort of hide it, but it's there, That's as far as I go with Technic. I'm not the best at it. I've struggled on basic little tiny Technic sets. So for me to sit and build the Bugatti or the what's that big bloody the name of it, the white one that's got the big scoop thing on it, the
Liber.
Yeah, I couldn't see myself building that. It looks really cool. Like, I'm not knocking Technic. It's just I'm knocking my own ability at not being able to do Technic very good. So that is one of my flaws is Technic.
Technic's not that hard.
Yeah, see, you say that though, but like I've sat down and gone, okay, I'm going to zone out that I'm not. I try to sort of, block out any other thoughts about Lego, and I think, okay, I'm just going to focus on this Technic set, think of, and just do it exactly how they want me to do it. And I'll miss one little tiny step, and it just ruins the whole thing. It's just like one element out, and it fails from there. And I get so frustrated. I'm like, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm just going to part that set out that someone bought me for a birthday present or whatever, and I'll just part it out and use the parts for whatever I can for something else. But that's where I get to with Technic. But, it's not that bad, though.
All right, Drew's on here. G'day, mate.
Hey, Drew. Yeah, it's... So yeah, the new Looney Tunes. Out of the new figures, what's your favourite so far? What do you like?
Oh, God. Hang on, let me look at them.
Mine, and I think everyone seems to guess mine, is the obvious of being the Tasmanian Devil, but...
Well, yeah, I am actually a big Tasmanian Devil fan. That could well be my favourite.
Have you seen one in real life, is the question?
No.
they are more scared of us than we are of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they are very terrified of humans.
Most things are terrified of humans.
Yeah, if you go to now, I don't know if anyone in the chat, if you've been to Tasmania, but they have them at various wildlife park or zoos. And when you're going around and you're getting the tour of the different animals, and they get to the Tasmanian devils, if you're ever curious, go when they're doing feeding of the Tassie devils, and their jaws are like power jaws. Like they will rip apart a carcass like it's nothing. It is fascinating to watch if you like that sort of like learning that sort of thing about animals. But to see those little creatures like rip apart a good chunk of meat and bone, it's just like they make it look effortless. But they aren't as big as what people seem to think they are too. They're not like massive big animals that are gonna spin around like a tornado, and that they're very quick. They will move real fast, but yeah, they're a funny little creature. We actually saw a couple of times when we went to a few different zoos, and that we would see them out in little habitats, and it was kind of cool. But I have seen them actually in the wild. Like they don't get close to the towns. They tend to obviously stay away. But if you're ever out that way, you do see them from time to time. But they are almost like the abominable snowman. You don't see them all the time. Yeah.
Not like duck-billed platypuses that are quite aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. The little Tassie devils are very very scared of us, but that would be my favourite, at least out of the CMF series. I do like the Bugs Bunny one though as well.
I like the Wile E. Coyote one.
Yeah. Look, I mean, to be honest, I like them all, but probably at the moment my favourite, I'm probably leaning towards the obvious, and that would be the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this, although Sylvester the cat looks good.
Yeah, I think this round they've done really good. I wish they had a Pepe Le Pew, I wish they had Pepe Le Pew in there.
Well, there's quite a few missing, so there's a good chance they'll do a second run if this one's successful, which is looking likely.
Now, I've seen some people in other some YouTube and Instagram streams that have already got them. Like they're already going through and
they came out yesterday, I think.
Yeah. They I went to, I said, one of my local haunts today, and I was like, "Oh, do you have them in yet?" And she's like, "No, we don't." I'm like, "When are you getting them?" And she's like, "Oh, not sure yet, but we are getting them." I'm like, "Okay, well, I really want to get a box." And she's like, "No worries, we'll let you know." I'm like, "Cool," because
put that one aside for me.
Yeah, well, this is one of those purchases that my wife's even stepped in and said, "Okay, well, let's just get it." And I'm like, "Yes, yeah." I haven't got to beg and plead and look under the couch for 10-cent coins that might have fallen under the couch, and go hunting for $5 notes that have been stashed in the house somewhere. It's like, yeah, we can just order it. Yes.
This box has some really useful parts in it. If only I could get off my ass and sort them.
Need to have a sorting party, Greg. Invite me over, mate. We'll crack some beers and some pizza, and we'll have a sorting party, mate. We'll just get into it. Yeah.
Need a bigger room for it. This room's too small. Hey, there's more roller coaster track there. Good grief.
Ooh. What colour? What colour is the track?
It's grey, not purple.
Sounds like it might be one of the sets I got. Was it the Creator one? The roller coaster, the Creator 3-in-1 set.
Yeah, no, I put that. I actually just broke that all down into a bag. The pirate ship one.
Yeah, it's cool though. I like that one.
Yeah, I do as well. I was originally going to combine that with this, but I'm like, well, there's actually enough in the Pirates of Barracuda Bay to build the set without needing that. So
yeah. Have you heard anything more about the UK restrictions? Like, is there talk of when you're able to look at flying over there again? Have you heard anything more about any of that? Or
Not recently. Hopefully soon.
yeah.
Now look, I got a load of these ready for building.
That's cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, I stopped. I got so many Technic parts in a bricklink order last year that I had planned to do stuff, and I've just not actually bothered sorting it all out. Tip it all out now, and had all the different axle sizes I thought I'd need.
Cool. So I just muted while I was tipping out the bag. There's a little bit loud on my microphone because it's right next to it. I'm like, yeah, I'll mute for a second. You go, shut up, Taz, mute your microphone. But yeah, it's tell you what, isn't Kaz like knocking a lot of her builds out of the park at the moment? She's very talented. She's doing really well with a lot of her stuff at the moment.
Who's that?
Kaz.
Oh yeah.
Geez, like I actually spent a bit of time looking at some of the stuff she's been doing on her channel, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, geez, she's very talented.
This bag of parts here is for when I decide to give up on trying to do a wheel-based system, because this is the bog standard chains.
Yeah. It's a
very, very important piece for when you're doing anything like this. It's a clutch, so you don't burn out your motor or you chew through all your teeth. That's happened with a lot of people with the what do you call it? Got the name of it. The VTOL Technic set.
So where's the best place to put the clutch then? Like I'm not.
Just put it near the motor.
Okay, and that just okay, cool.
If there's ever too much load through it, it just clicks.
See, look how much you know about Technic and how much I don't know about Technic.
Well, that's a mechanical thing. That's not a Technic thing.
Well, then look how much you know about mechanical stuff and how much I don't.
Don't you service your bike? Wait.
Well, yeah. For that stuff, a lot of the time I rely on YouTube and mates, and I'll be like, hey, how did you do this? Or I'll just YouTube it, and I think, that's how they got around that. I see. Anything really technical, of course, I'll just take it to a mechanic, but if there's something I can do that's obviously not going to, cause harm to the bike, I'll have a go myself. But I tend to be a little bit more careful, considering that, if I get it wrong really bad, I got to pay someone to haul it into town to get it fixed. And I'm like, well, I just need to be careful, because that's going to be a fun conversation with Mrs. GJBricks, isn't it? There's an extra repair bill. Hey, darling, spent more money on the bike again.
Hey, babe. I was saving money on the bike, and
now I'm going to spend money on the bike. Happens. So I try to be careful.
Yeah, it's the trouble with car maintenance. It's like, to do anything on a car, generally you need specialist equipment now, don't you? So
yep. Few things you can do without having the computer equipment and whatever else.
But generally, don't bother. I was weighing this up because I've got to take my new car in for a service soon.
Okay.
Do I go to a dealership, private service, or do I go to a local garage that I know will be cheaper? But then I'm like thinking, do they have if I take it to the car garage, they'll do things like upgrade the nav system and stuff like that, because I know they've got it all.
Yeah. I guess like would they do that for free still, or would they charge you extra for upgrading the sat nav and all that?
No, I don't know. I've never had a car with a sat nav in it before.
Ah.
I mean, my car's got Apple Play in it, so I don't just use that all the time. But
see, that's the thing, that Google Play or Apple Play, whichever one that you use, is good because your phone, well, your maps, like Apple Maps and then Google Maps, gets updated, so it's sort of doing the work for you, really.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah,
No,
we almost paid to have it installed and then realised it was actually in the car already.
Yeah. There's bikes now that like some of the more expensive cruiser bikes that have, and I'm probably sure there's sporty bikes that have it too. I'm just not a sports bike person, but a lot of the more expensive, and I mean, like, you can nearby a house for what you can pay for some of these cruiser bikes now. That they have sat nav and everything else, and they've got AM FM radio and Bluetooth, and it's just like a car on two wheels. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's something that Gullwings have had for a long time.
Yeah, Ultras, like the Harley Ultras, have that as well. But each time you see one, like I recently had to go to one of the Harley dealerships recently, and I tell you what, if I had money, I would have bought a new bike. Oh, some of the bikes are just insane. Like, they are just awesome. But
I've got to say, I do like their electric bike.
Yeah, it's sort of that one's kind of a hot topic with some of your more, I suppose you could say old school bike enthusiasts. I've heard good and bad. I mean, you're always going to hear good and bad, but I've heard good and bad. I haven't ridden one myself yet. I haven't tried one yet. So, I mean, all I can do is look at, videos of people who have ridden them, and they look cool. And from the videos, they seem to have a bit of power behind them and can, they've got some impressive stats. But, yeah, that's as much as I sort of, wouldn't know about them.
Did you ever see the was it Top Gear or Grand Tour? I can't remember which, but Jeremy Clarkson tried the Tesla model, the X1, I think it is, the big like SUV one.
No, I would have missed that. Yeah,
and he raced an Audi R8 in it.
You're kidding.
A family SUV.
Damn.
And it beat the R8.
That's impressive. Wow.
And like it beat it for the quarter mile or whatever it was they were doing. But once it reached a certain point, then the petrol engine had more legs.
Yeah.
But we're talking like ridiculously fast.
That is cool. Speaking of Top Gear, do you remember a maybe much older episode now where, what did they do? They made their own. I think Hammond made one of like a heap of batteries, and it started smoking inside the cab, and they went out to like a test track, not their test track, but like one that they use for cars, like for doing car reviews and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do vaguely remember that.
That was funny. I like that episode.
The Grand Tour on Amazon Prime is hysterical.
Yeah. I haven't got Amazon Prime, but I've seen little bits. You see, sometimes you might get a little snippet on YouTube, and you watch some of it, and yeah, I know why those three are popular. I know why Clarkson, May, and Hammond. Like they're a trio, and when Clarkson got fired from BBC, they all walked away and said, well, if it's him, it's all of us, and they all walked. And their dynamics on that show, I had a real big part of why it was so successful.
Yeah.
And it was a real shame that, I still go back and watch the older episodes of Top Gear. Like I love all their specials. I love where they would put a celebrity in what was like an average price car or something, and they do laps of the Top Gear test track, and that. Yeah, I miss the old school, Top Gear. I really do. So yeah, because I haven't got Amazon Prime, I've sort of missed Grand Tour, but I'm guessing they must be going to put it onto DVD or Blu-ray sooner or later. But I haven't, mind you, I haven't looked to see if it's already available on DVD or Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a cool show. From the little tiny bits that I've seen, I'm like, oh, I wish I had Amazon Prime.
It's not that expensive.
No, but when you're already running Netflix and Disney Plus, you start throwing more in, and all of a sudden you're spending a reasonable amount of money each month on streaming services.
Yeah, we've got Hulu, and I need to cancel that because I never watch it.
Yeah, I've heard
really popular if I do that.
Yeah. I take it Mrs. GJ is a fan of Hulu.
Yeah, she watches it's got the most important show to her, which is Grey's Anatomy.
So, okay, yep. I think even Disney Plus has got the Star thing on it now. And I think that's got some of the Grey's Anatomy on there too, but I don't know how much or how many seasons because I'm not really a fan of the show. But yeah, I don't know how many seasons the Disney Plus has got on there, but. I was just thankful finally when Netflix caught up and put the last season of Big Bang Theory on because I missed it when it was on free-to-air TV. So I got to go back and watch the last season of Big Bang Theory. So that was cool. That was a cool show.
Yeah, I need to watch that one actually. I liked it, but anyway, getting back onto the topic of the Lego.
Yes.
Ask the question of, wouldn't I rather be building this on a Mills plate?
Ah, yeah.
God, Mills plates. They're so expensive. That's my problem with it. Building it on Mills is just cripplingly, the amount of parts you need to do it is just nuts.
Yeah. I'm not building a Mills plate, but I'm 5 bricks at the moment for my sort of level part of my layout. I'm 5 bricks high. Yeah, it hurts. It is painful. I use Duplo, but it still hurts. I
don't have enough bricks to do it, I don't think.
Neither do I. So I'm sort of having to start to rethink what I'm doing. I'm like, no, because I've started this process. I've started it. I've got my lighthouse built. I can always go back and modify the lighthouse when I need to, but at least I can say that it's built. I've started my little cove or sort of area where I've got my rocky outcrop. I've done all that, and I'm like, I'm not going back to what I call flat Earth City. I want to have that sort of terrain, and it's like, I'm so frustrated how much brick it's using, but I'm trying not to let it beat me. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to let it get the better of me.
Yeah.
But it's killing me in bricks. It is hurting. So but look, I guess how I'm seeing it now is that I'm not in a hurry because, I'm not doing exhibitions. I'm not pulling it apart and taking it on shows and stuff like that. So if it takes me 2 years or 3 years or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I need parts really, really badly. But yeah, it's been. But mate, yeah, this has been fun. Today's been a bit of a hard day, but this has been fun. I appreciate getting to spend some time with you and getting to hang out. And I missed Sunday, and I really did actually genuinely. I was like, oh, I was a bit bummed out, but I'm like, oh well, you know, I mean, family stuff comes up, and we had a nice little trip and that, and the kids had a good time, and didn't actually spend a lot of money this time. Like, actually, we did pretty good. On that particular trip, I didn't buy any Lego. So, you know, but it was good to just get to, you know, have that little bit of family time, and but you know, getting this little bit of time that I mean, part sorting's, let's face it, it's not fun, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah,
I'm finding parts here and there, so it's okay, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm finding now I've got a little collection of bricks that'll help me out, but it's not even really scratching the surface. So it's like,
no,
well,
that's it. Building my last mocks just wiped out a load of parts again that I thought I had in excess of.
yeah, it but that's the thing, though. At least now it sort of gives you, and this is what I'm doing with my layout. It's really given me that sort of real cold, hard, you know, look at reality. Going, I don't have as many bricks as I thought I did. You know what I mean? Like, it's forced me to reassess my whole inventory, and it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to use up the majority of what I've got first, and then just start putting in part orders after that, because that way then, you know what I mean? Like, I'm using what I've got, and I can at least then justify to myself at the end of it. I can go, well, I ran out of that part, so I'll put another order in and grab some more parts. But at least I'm going through what I've already got, and that way then, you know, I'm reassessing, you know, parts that I have in excess of, and then I can look at getting rid of them. You know, if I know I'm never going to use them, then I can look at offloading them, and whether it's just Facebook Marketplace or whatever, just to, or put the feelers out there to the various mates and that within the community, and say, hey, I've got an abundance of these parts. Let me know if you want them. You know.
Yep.
Well, hey, Greg, speaking of, if you, in your current inventory, if you have an oversupply of any of these darker green or like green plates, let me know, because you'll have a buyer if you ever want to get rid of them.
I found
one.
I need
them. One's a start. One's a start.
I think, to be honest, I need them too.
David, I lost myself. Bugger.
Sorry.
Oh. Hashtag Taz needs parts. That's all right. That's okay. But yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, but I appreciate it, mate. Thank you for. And sorry, I was a little bit late. My PC is. I'm just hoping, because I can't afford to buy a new one at the moment, so I'm trying to get as much life out of it as I can while I can. So I'm trying not to speak ill of it, because it'll have ears and it will it'll do bad stuff. So I've got to try and, you know, be kind to it. Even though I want to do a basil faulty with the tree branch to it right at about now. I thought you'd like that little reference there.
It's funny, I follow him on Facebook, and he had a shot from 40 Towers on his page today.
Yeah.
Such a great show.
Oh, look, those shows. I was actually talking to solo brick builds about it on one of my Instagram streams, and we talked about some of our favourite, you know, shows and comedians and shows like Faulty Towers, and then you've got a little of Fry and Laurie, or which was Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. You know, yeah. God, what else? What else is there? And then you've got Monty Python. Was it Bottom?
Yeah, Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mail.
Oh, okay.
Mate, oh my God, you'll love that. I guarantee you'll love it.
If you find something, like send me a link or something, I'll see if I can track it down. See if I can look for anything. Oh, it's on iTunes. Okay.
They've got like the complete collection.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because I was going to buy it because I've got it on DVD at home in the UK.
Yeah. Wow. That's and like shows like Faulty Towers, and then you've got Monty Python. I mean, like some of the, you know, so like necessarily like the full birth of comedy, but you're witnessing comedy in its most raw sense of comedy, and you know those shows. Yeah, I always love the old school comedies. I love them.
It's most unpolitically correct.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I remember. I remember, from the House TV show in the US when Hugh Laurie, played Greg House, and it was very early on, I think in season 1, and Jesse Spencer, who was on Neighbours here in Australia, I think he's on Chicago Fire now over there, but when Jesse was playing, his character was an Australian doctor who was over there in the US, and something had come up about Jesse being from Australia, or he'd said something about him being Australian, and Hugh Laurie was like, in his House, character, he's just like, no, you're not Australian, you're British. And it's just like, no, I'm Australian. And he's like, no, you're not. You're British. And it was just like, I bet he would have loved saying that because of course, Hugh Laurie being from the UK. It's like, well, but yeah, that was another show that I really enjoyed as well. But mate, no, this has been a load of fun, Greg. I'm glad we were chatting there today, and looking forward to season 3 of Lego Masters. It should be really good. I've watched the trailer a couple of times and the promo, and there's some pretty cool builds. Even just like you really got to. For us, it's because I'm watching it in digital. I can pause it, and it gets a good pause on the video, and you can sort of get a bit of a look at what some of the builds. But it looks like they're obviously doing must be on one of the episodes. They're doing like animals, like they've got. Was it possibly a crocodile or something like that, or just some massive animal with big jaws and everything opens up? I'm like, oh, imagine doing that. Like, yeah.
How do I do that?
Yeah. I'm like, that's got me thinking. It's like, now if I was on that, how would I tackle that?
Hey, Greg.
I know. Do you know how to do that? I don't. I'll just go and fetch the parts. You build, I'll be parts fetcher. I'll run to the brick pit. That'll be my extent on that challenge. It'll be, I'll just get parts. You build, I have no idea. I mean, look, I could work it out. It'd probably just take me a while to get to that point. But I mean, I think once you get started, you can start to visualize it more better, and you can go, okay, well, depending on what elements that you've got and how many, I suppose, is the big thing of, how you can execute something like that. But I think one of them possibly was either a 3D, like a full sort of model of like a tiger or something. I can't remember, but it looked really cool. I was just like, that's awesome. That's the sort of stuff that I could do, but it would take me a long time. Like, I mean, that's when I sort of question myself about my own ability.
I have not actually watched the trailer yet.
Well, if you're interested, check it out.
I am interested. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Well, because it airs 7:30 Monday, so.
Yeah, I told my kids today, so.
Yeah, yeah. Mine like ran in. They must have saw something, and they've run into the room the other day. Dad, Dad, Dad! Lego Masters, Lego Masters. I'm like, I know. Yeah, they're like, are you going to go on that show? I'm like, oh well, I sort of can't go on at the moment. I said, well, season three's on now, but well, you never know. But yeah, when my daughter says, "Oh, Dad, you're like the best builder in the world," I'm like, "Oh, thank you, darling." But and I know I'm not, But I mean, I'm not going to I'm not going to,
Well, now you've got to go for it.
well, that's the thing. It's just like, geez, I'm being held in such high regard. It's like, it's like now I've got to try and have a go, I guess. But it's and she's only little, and when she says stuff like that, like, I don't want to be that negative dad on her and go, "Oh no, sorry, darling, you're wrong." But it's just like, I don't. If she was a teenager and she was saying, "Hey, Dad, you're like the best builder in the world," I'd be like, "I'm not, but thanks for the compliment." But for my daughter, I'm like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to upset her, or I don't want to, she was so genuine, It's just like, oh, how can I sort of? I don't want to burst a little bubble. I don't want to be that dad just yet. I don't want
to, like her little heartstrings out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I'll help her believe that, that there's, the tooth fairy and everything. I'll always, until she's old enough where she works it out herself. I don't want to burst a little bubble.
Yeah, we had the tooth fairy visit this house the other day.
We had Tooth Fairy came here last night. I'm a bit pissed off that she didn't leave $100 note under my pillow. She left a $2 coin under my daughter's pillow, which was fine. But I'm thinking, hey, where's my money? I'll rip a tooth out. I want my $100. I'll probably get something like, okay, well, that tooth was rotted, so therefore you owe me money. so
I need to go to the dentist, actually. Different subject. Get off that subject.
Yeah. That's painful topic. It's a sore subject. Yeah, I know. I keep getting the 6-month reminder, and I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. I can't afford it. No, that's eating into my Lego fund.
Leave me alone.
It's like, oh, I don't want to deal with that just yet. I don't want an adult. I don't want to be an adult. But yeah, it's I've just got to be really careful with like spending at the moment. But all these cool sets that are coming out and the sets that have been released, even just in the last 6 to 12 months, Sesame Street's on my list. I haven't got that one yet. The Cantina, well, that was sort of, a half and half deal. So at least I can say now that I've got it. I just have to wait a little bit. But at least it's.
When's your birthday?
What are we now? I want to say, what is it? 2-3 weeks from today. Where are we?
Not too long.
Not too long. It's about 3 weeks, sort of 2 and a bit weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So that's all right. I've got a bit of time. But on other sets, like Sesame Street's on the list. The Stranger Things set doesn't really. I like the car. I like the car in that set, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't really.
No.
There's things about it I like, but it doesn't really. Oh, that could work. Sorry.
No, you're right.
How this is going to work, and I'm trying to figure it out. I think I might have just come up with a solution. I'm trying to Lego in their ones uses springs, and I'm like elastic bands, and I'm like, I don't think I need to use elastic bands.
No.
I'm trying to sort of come up with a gravity system where the wheel sort of leans onto the cars, because that's all it needs to do, as long as it can't go too far the other way.
Yeah.
It's my theory anyway. It's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So crazy, it just might work.
This is where your skills sort of leaps over mine with doing this sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, but you got to do this under pressure on a TV show. It's like, well, give me a couple of days, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
no, Greg.
it's like you've got 8 hours. It's like that sounds like a long time, but it's not. It's like when you see sometimes and they say, "Oh, okay, this challenge you got 12 hours," and you sort of think initially it's like, "Oh, 12 hours, heaps of time." Then as a builder, you know yourself, you go, "That's not actually that much time at all." Like it sounds like it is, but it's really when you get stuck into it, like you're pretty much under the pump the entire time, as we know from talking to Starny and Jay and that, and you know, yeah, I got a lot of good insight from talking to Starny actually about some of his experience there, and I'm sure Henry would have plenty of pearls of wisdom, and I bet he's, you know, I think he was the one that I can't remember if he sent me as a message or was just something I saw on his Facebook post when the newer trailers came out. I'm like, ooh, that was for Lego Master Season 3. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, see, and what I keep hearing about the brick pit is, while for us on the TV it looks like there's a lot of bricks, it's more that there's not as many different parts as you think there is, and that's where it can become a bit more of a challenge as well. And I'm guessing whether they do that just out of part availability or deliberately. So yeah, it's yeah, I was hoping they'd bring back that bridge, you know, the bridge or the weight thing from season 1, because that was pretty cool. But
Well, they did do that in season 2, didn't they?
I don't think they did in season 2.
Well, they did.
They did in season 1 in Lego Masters USA. I don't think I'm pretty sure they didn't cover that in season 2 for us. They used different. They had an underwater one for season 2. They had the building on both sides, like, you know, a brick stuck to either end.
That was pretty unique, building on both sides one.
Yeah. Now, see, okay, let's just for a second. If you and I were doing that challenge, that would have been like if like building, you know, I suppose upside down, I guess for the you know, for the other side. That would have been pretty. I think for me that would have been really tricky. That I don't know how I would have went doing something like that. That it would have been a good challenge to have, but I don't think it would have been overwhelmed. It would have been just like, oh, I've been trying to work out, okay, how am I going to make everything like stick? It's got to be able to have that clutch power. You're really relying on it then. I guess yeah. Technic would be your obvious giveaway there to help, obviously, you know, hold everything in. But I think some of those builds were pretty good. I remember one of them was it like a rabbit? It was like there was the little carrot sort of farm or carrot, you know, or vegetable garden on top, and then underneath was like the rabbits. You know, he's like pulling the carrots through or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was right.
You remember that one? Yeah, that was cool. I can't remember what team did that one though. God, I probably should know, but I still remember that one, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. The one where they got to blow up some of the Lego, I thought that was all right, but
that was better than I was expecting it to be. I've got to say, I'm like, oh, blowing up Lego, no.
Yeah, have actually the slow mo on that was really cool. Like that was. And speaking of that, have you heard of the YouTube channel The Slow Mo Guys?
Yeah,
I love their stuff.
When they blow up stuff in slow motion.
Oh, but not just blowing up stuff. I remember really back early on they did. I don't think it was their very first episode, but it was certainly one of the earlier ones where they blew up the what's the equivalent to like those? Not like an exercise ball, but something along those lines. And one of the guys jumped on it and they put it in slow mo, and you could see the ripples, and I was so cool. And then it busted, and then just water went everywhere. But that was really cool.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
yeah,
like drop water watermelons and things.
Yeah, oh, love that channel. That and Mark Rober. Are you familiar with Mark Rober's YouTube channel?
No.
Oh, so
hang on. My idea works, I think, for this, but
yeah.
demonstrated an interesting problem with physics. It goes outwards when it goes in the direction I need it to go. So I've got to flip everything around to make it work the other way around, but I think it works. So I'm just using gravity to hold it in place. Sorry.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Who's Mark?
So he sort of it was a NASA engineer, but he came to sort of fame. Well, his claim to fame was
did he make the exploding parcel thing?
Yeah, so the glitter bomb parcel, and then he had this sensor in it that when they opened the box, it had like fart, like little canisters that would, like fart gas basically, and then he'd just stink them out, and and then he had like 4 cell phones that were recording, and they could upload, GPS location, all that sort of stuff. So, but he's perfected them over the last couple of years, and he's done a heap of other stuff as well. His is another channel I really enjoy. He's done some funny stuff. He teamed up. He did an episode with. There's a YouTube channel here in Australia called How Ridiculous, and it's 3 guys over in Western Australia who they go to one of this tower that's just outside of Perth. It's like, was it 45 meters up in the air, and they drop stuff. They've even done a Lego one, and it's like they had this big block of Lego and they dropped like the Thor hammer on it. And like I saw that one, I went back through because my kids love watching that sort of stuff. So I went and played that episode, and I'm thinking, I could really do with those bricks. Like here they are dropping a Thor hammer on them. I'm like, that's the last thing I'd be doing to them. If I'd have knew they were doing that day, I'd have rocked up out there. So listen, fellas, I'll clean up the mess. Any good bricks that survived, I'll happily take them off your hands. No worries at all. Happy to help. I'll clean up the mess. And the deal is, any bricks that survived, I get to keep them if they're undamaged. Happy days. I don't know how successful I would have been, but I would have liked to have given it a shot. But anyway, it's but yeah. So no, I think season 3 of this Lego Masters should be pretty cool. Hopefully, it's suppose we'll find out.
There we go. Roller coaster moving. I've got no elastic bands involved there. Whee!
Can you put yourself on solo camera for a sec so I can? Because I even got me on full screen and I'm still a bit distant on that one. So I'm like, that's better. Okay, show us again. Just now I can see a bit clearer. Yeah. Okay, so there's your wheel. Yep. Oh, that's cool.
Needs a bit of work, but
would extra wheels or like 2 or 3 extra wheels obviously help
here, and it's going to have wheels all the way up, which is annoying because I don't have enough wheels for that.
Okay. Yeah.
God,
there's nothing actually used.
I think I might have given some of these wheels to my kids.
Oh. Might have to go and raid the vehicles.
They always build buildings, so
yeah.
But that's just using I've just made it lean on the track, so the main part's making sure that it's got enough weight in this direction.
Yeah. But if you can make that work, which it looks like you already have, that's going to be cool. Actually, Greg, show us what. Even off stream, take a photo of that wheel piece or whatever it is. Even if I've got a couple of them, or if I've got enough of them, I'll see if I can send them to you, or if I'm up near your way, I'll find a way to get them over to you, because I don't do a lot of vehicles. Like, I've got vehicles obviously, but it's not my specialty. So if I've got an abundance of them, then I'm not going to use them. Or even if it's just how many you need, if it's 3 or 4, I'll just hand some over to you if you like. I don't mind at all.
Cheers, mate. I hear a small child about to come in my direction.
That's all right. Well, mate, this has been fun. let me know what it. Yeah, try and show me off at a later time that particular wheel. It will be if I've got enough of them, or if I've got any of them. I'll have to go through and have a look. But if I've got them, I'll let you know.
What's up? All right, I better deal with this. I'll be back in a moment.
All right,
mate. As we said, it's 11:45.
We can call it if you want, mate. I'm all good either way.
Oh no, I'll just sort this out. I'll be 10 or 15 minutes more.
Yeah, no worries, mate. That's fine. There we go. Holding the fort. That's okay. Let's see. What to do. Part sorting. That's always fun. There we go. Well, for those in the chat, hope you're well. Sorry for the bit of noise there, but hope you're well. Now I've got to get rid of these plastic bags. But that's okay. So what I'm doing is not really wildly entertaining, but I am part sorting. For those interested, what I do is some of these classic sets, and that if you get them, like for me, just to initially start the sorting process, I usually put them in the easily clear see-through containers. It's a help, it gets it started. So yeah, that's sort of the extent of what I try and do. No, for me it helps. It's getting it done. Part sorting is the necessary evil, but when you're doing mocks or anything like that, and layouts, and whether you're doing big cities or little layouts, you go through your parts real quick. But that's it's an obvious thing, but it doesn't take long. And you find yourself in a situation where you are scraping every barrel for every tiny little brick that you've got. I seem to be doing that more and more at the moment. So, yeah. But that's because the layout that I'm working on is using most of my parts. So anyway, we're the layout's coming along fairly nicely. The lighthouse now, mainly for me, that's just parts I'm using at the moment that I've got. I don't mind it. I probably will try and change it up at some point. If Lego does this new window piece that they did in one of the 2021 Friends sets, that one, if they do it in, because at the moment they've released that piece in white, and ordinarily it would work completely well and fine. My lighthouse is predominantly white, so white brick dominates that set. That build, that mock build. I keep calling it a set, and it's not a set; it's a mock. So because white brick dominates that mock, the white windows for the top part of the lighthouse, it just sort of all blends in. So what I've used in the short term is the sort of black coloured sort of bay window piece, and it works well. I'm pretty sure that's what they used on the Hidden Side Lighthouse set. Off memory, I have got the set, I just haven't got it in front of me. I'm pretty sure that's what they used for that. So that one, I like that piece, but when I saw this new window piece that was in the Friends set, I thought, okay, well, there's a chance I could use that. So I gave it a try, but general consensus when I did that, I was on another YouTube stream, and the general consensus was that, well, it looks okay, but it's sort of blended in too much. So we decided that, it'd be better to change it up and sort of go back to how I had it as before. So ended up doing that, and it looks okay.
Crisis averted.
There we go, mate. You've saved the stream. I was giving the history lesson into my lighthouse build, and why I was using certain parts that I. But anyway, you're back.
Do you know what would be the perfect part for this?
Yeah.
That I don't have.
So I've been trying to rack my brain a bit on that too. I'm thinking, what could you use?
Like, look at that part there. There's like a little rubber part that's like basically two.
Yes. Oh.
That's the perfect dampener for that.
I've got a couple of them.
Enough force.
Yes. Oh, now where have I? Oh, now you've gone and done it. No, I've seen that part in. I mean, you see it in, like, not just Technic sets. It pops up in a few different sets now, that particular part, and
the good thing is, because the way this is spinning, all of the friction pushing it that way anyway. It's just when the cars go by to make sure it pushes back hard enough.
Yeah, true. That piece would be pretty much perfect.
Yeah, I also need fireball wheels.
Yeah, like I said, send me. I know but you I would imagine if you did if you did a parts order, it'd rock up quicker. But I'm sort of hoping to be sort of in your neck of the woods over.
I was trying to keep it as compact as possible so I can use it. So I can build it, and I think I've done a pretty good job there actually, because I looked at the Lego one, and the Lego one's going all over the shot. It's huge.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if I can help you out, I will, mate. I'm always happy to do that.
You can hook me up, dude.
I'll try, mate. Definitely. We'll see what I've got. But I know that piece you're talking about. I've got a couple of them. I don't have many of that one, but I've seen enough of them.
I think
it's
I do. I've got quite a few of these parts as well, because these are quite useful. There you go. You see that one?
Yes. Yeah. I've got. I think
foundation pieces.
It's very cool
for Technic, especially.
I used it once. G'day. I used that piece once in a. I want to say it was a ceiling that I was trying to work, because I was expanding it across a 32 by 32 base plate as far as length and width. So I was working to that sort of dimension, and I was trying to do it without putting pillars in the middle. I was trying to be like, I was trying to be cool for the interior and show no pillars in the middle of the build or something. And I tried using that particular piece that you just showed us as like support for the sort of ceiling beams, so that I could sit the roof or the next floor on. That piece, as a game day player, that thing holds up. But I had to be, because I was trying to find a way to sort of transfer the load from the weight of the next level. So I was trying to sort of redirect the force of it so it just wouldn't collapse in the middle. That piece was a big component to that. It wasn't the saving grace for it, but it certainly helped. So it's a cool piece.
Yeah, I think it was Robin Hood Bricks did a drop tower as well, and he did one. I think he used that piece as his buffer at the bottom.
Oh, cool. Okay.
How I use the springs. I think he used that piece.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Because it'd
Which
be a good
makes it more compact. But the thing is, mine's that high because of the mechanism at the bottom. It has to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. But that sort of still works though. That's the thing. It's not going to really detract that much. I wouldn't think. But I like what you're doing there.
That works. Trying to use wheels rather than a chain. That's my goal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't like the way the chain works. And my thing with the chain as well is it's got a wear because it just sits on the track. It's like they haven't even put a wheel or anything on there. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just gonna eat the track eventually.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're going to be replacing track fairly well, depending on how much you run it. But yeah, over time, you're just going to be replacing the same part all the time. And it would probably start to wear in against the track itself a little bit too. Not that it would probably break it or snap it or anything, but I think it would just sort of wear in on it, which would wear in on both pieces then as well. It's that sort of, yeah. I can see why they did it with the roller coaster set. I get it, but yeah.
I don't like it.
No, and the wheel. I mean, I haven't got that set. I mean, and I've only seen close-ups and images on the interwebs, but I haven't got it. I would like to get it. That's like a like a lotto win set that I can add to the list of. Oh yeah, I'll just get it.
I don't want to upset you, but it's $340 on Amazon at the moment.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying for me it's a lotto win because I just can't spend that much at the moment. It's a cool set. I should have got it when it
roller coaster. You're not helping.
I know. It's a roller coaster. I really want it. Yeah, I cannot afford it. Oh,
I wanted a roller coaster from when I was a child.
yeah.
I always wanted a roller coaster as a kid. That was like, I got the Pirates one and built that. That was
that one's cool.
Fun little set.
I've got a couple of that one. I can't remember why I bought more than I think I bought two. I can't figure out why I bought two. Maybe because I was trying to do my own little expansion of a roller coasters like build. But when you see how much room that they take up, and when you don't have a lot of room to begin with,
they do.
It sort of takes the magic away, and it's just like, okay, I either need to do like what you're doing and sort of scale it down and restrict as much as you can anyway.
I was going to say I haven't really scaled it down that much.
No, but I can see your method to it though, and I get why. So that plate you're on, is that a 32 or a 48 by 48? Looks like a 32.
48. It's a 48.
It's a 48. Okay. Well, when you think about it, that's a decent footprint by itself. So I can see.
It actually needs two 32s to fit.
Yeah, because I can see the part where your keyboard is and where that bit of the track is. Yeah, I could see how that would fit on two 32s. Because lengthways, two 32s is obviously 64 studs. So the good old nice easy Lego maths.
There's two wheels. Let's see if two wheels will work. Whee! Oh, hang on. Why is that one falling in so far?
Is it getting stuck, is it?
No, it's falling too far in for some reason. I thought I'd limited it. That's really... Oh, because it's on the hill. It needs to be higher up.
There you go. See? Easy fix, mate.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah.
You got that bloody song again.
That's where it needs to have a bit of friction on it. It's that bit.
Yeah. You did that last Sunday, and I was laughing. I'm like, Bluey. Okay. So my kids spent some time with their grandparents, and obviously not my on my dad's side of the family, of course, but they drove their nana insane with Bluey. I didn't realize they were basically going to
Awesome.
and watch Bluey, and like by the end of it, when we got there to pick him up, she's just like, if I ever hear that song again, and I'm like, I just cracked up. I'm like, oh. I found instant humor in it because I'm like, they drove her insane with Bluey, and I'm like, yes. Now I didn't tell them to do that. They decided to take that upon themselves. It's like, oh well.
Family values. Come on, Nana.
That's what I said to her. I said, like, seriously. I said, what's not to like about Bluey? I said, it's a great Australian family show. It's funny. They even have some adult jokes in there. They slip them in very carefully, but you can, they're definitely there. Bandit's my favorite. He's my favorite. Love Bandit. Go Bandit.
Oh, he's my hero, Dad. Yeah.
Oh, he's cool. And the guy who voices Bandit, he's like if you're into doing your IMDb, all that sort of stuff. He's like he's like a rock musician, or he's a muso in Brisbane, or they're in Queensland. But just the way that they've, for me, he's the instant favorite, and the one that voices Chili, she's brilliant as well, and just adorable. But
I don't know if you've ever looked at the pictures of who she is as well, but you'd want to marry her too.
Yes, I have seen. Yes, I have actually seen the pictures, and indeed, she could. I'd be very. She could be a future Mrs. GJBricks. But I love her voice as well. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, she does a good English accent.
Yeah. And but Bandit's my favourite. I love Bandit. But if you noticed as well, now they've had Hamish Blake's been on there. He was voice one of the uncles, maybe. I think. I think so. And Miff Warhurst, if you remember her from what is she on? Was she on Spicks and Specs?
Whoosh. That means nothing to me.
But now that was all. Spicks and Specs was a ABC show, like a music sort of trivia sort of show. It was cool. Another one of those free to air, TV shows. Who else was on? Yeah. But no, it was Blue is an awesome show. But yeah, I just love their reaction when we got there. She's like, she goes, that song and that show, and I'm like, it's a good show. She's like, I don't want to watch it.
God, last time my parents were here, even my dad started liking a couple of the things the kids liked.
Yeah. Like they'll watch Peppa Pig and everything else. I'm like,
oh God, I hate Peppa Pig.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one, though.
That is a bad show. I'm sorry.
I mean, I felt sorry for Daddy Pig. I thought he got a raw deal, but
he's a blithering idiot. But
it wasn't.
He's such a moron. Like, but the things they say to him is just like,
yeah.
Why doesn't a commentator just say Daddy Pig's a fucking idiot and be done with it?
Yeah, I think that show, you know, when my kids were younger, that's all they wanted to watch, and I was just like, oh, I would have given anything to have Bluey back then. Like, yeah, I
Thankfully,
was
Bluey came along at just the right time.
yeah. And then they moved on to other shows, and my son likes Teen Titans Go and those sort of shows. And
I'll tell you what I've been addicted to, because this proves what a man child I am. Thunderbirds A Go.
Oh God! Wow.
The remake, not the original, like the one they've done recently.
What's that on now? I haven't even. I've heard that they didn't read it.
That's on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
But it's filmed in Tasmania.
Well, that I didn't know. Okay.
Made in Tasmania, rather.
Really?
And they use a combination of puppets and CGI.
Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. They really film it in Tasmania?
It's really good.
Yeah. Well, there you go. God, who'd have thought?
My mechanism doesn't quite work.
So why isn't it not quite working?
Because the wheels are too high on the trains. It needs to be like a little bit lower.
Okay. Yeah. And now, is it only for that section where the hill is, or like the incline?
No, I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both.
So lowering lowering the wheels for the side, that's not going to help it.
It's just not gripping hard enough there. See, it's just spinning.
Oh, bugger.
And even though I put friction on it, it still doesn't grip hard enough. Yeah.
What about with momentum? Like, I mean, obviously, depending if you if you try and visually plan out the rest of what you're doing there with that coaster, do you think if you had a downgrade, so you've got the coaster, you've actually got the coaster itself flying around, do you think with just like gravity or just natural momentum coming down, that might, even though it's not gripping now, if you put a bit more like speed as it's flying around, do you think that might help it?
Yeah. Hello, Kelly.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to have to say goodbye now.
That's fine, mate. Not a problem. That's okay. Oh, Bubby. Well, mate, thank you. This has been fun, and we'll catch up on Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you, those of you who've popped in midweek to watch us.
Thanks, everyone. This has been good, and thank you, Greg. Thanks for being
here. See you on Sunday.
Take care, everyone. Thanks again.